All right, let's dive right into this explainer and explore the incredible world of our environment, plus the natural factors that literally shape it. Whether you're sitting in a classroom right now, chilling at home, or hanging out outside, you are part of a massive, super complex system. So today, we're going to figure out exactly how that whole system works, how everything connects, and honestly, what role we play in it.
To make things super easy to follow, here's the game plan for today. 1. What is the environment? 2. Abiotic, or non-living factors. 3. Biotic, the living factors. 4. Anthropogenic, basically human impact. And 5. Why protect our nature? Let's get into it. Section 1. What is the environment? Everything around us. So let's start with the absolute basics. The environment is everything around living things that affects their life. Think about it. You, me, your pets, the trees right outside your window, and every single wild animal out there, we're all constantly interacting with our surroundings. It isn't just a place, right? It's a continuous relationship. Basically, if it affects how a plant, animal, or human lives, it's part of the environment.
It's a giant mix of all these different things. We're talking about the invisible air we breathe, the water we drink, the soil right under our feet, and the bright sunlight hitting us from above. But it also includes all the plants and animals we share the planet with, the climate we experience day to day, and even our own human activities. Just take a look at this beautiful scene. Notice how the deer, the birds, and the plants all share the exact same space, and they completely rely on each other. That deer needs the water to drink and the plants to eat. The birds use the air to fly, and the trees give them a place to live. Literally all living organisms are constantly interacting with the environment around them. I mean, they just couldn't survive without it. Moving on to Section 2, abiotic factors, the non-living parts of nature. So we call this first major group abiotic factors. The prefix a means without, and bio means life. So literally, without life. Abiotic factors are the influences of non-living nature on living organisms. And even though these things aren't alive, they completely control where and how plants and animals survive. They basically set the ground rules for life in any given area.
Some huge examples here include temperature, light, water, wind, humidity, soil, and air. Think about how much you need a giant glass of water after running around, or how you instantly start shivering when the temperature drops in winter. Those are abiotic factors totally at work. Wind can help spread plant seeds, like blowing dandelion seeds across a whole field, while sunlight is absolutely 100% necessary for plants to make their own food.
It is so fascinating to see how living things adapt to these non-living factors. Take a polar bear. It's got this incredibly thick, heavy fur specifically to survive the freezing temperatures of a cold climate. And then look at the sunflower. It literally turns its head throughout the day to track the sun simply because it desperately needs that light for photosynthesis. How cool is that? Water is another absolutely incredible abiotic factor. Some creatures, like fish, obviously need to be completely submerged in constant water to live. But then you have the ultimate desert survivors. Cacti are built to store water right inside their thick stems, so they can survive in harsh, dry deserts for an incredibly long time. Camels do something similar, traveling for days without needing a single drink. It really just shows how powerful abiotic factors are in shaping life. All right, Section 3. Biotic factors, how living things influence each other. Now we drop the A and see how all this builds into our next category, which is entirely about the living parts of nature. Biotic factors are the influence of living organisms on each other. This means looking at how plants, animals, and even tiny microscopic bugs interact on a daily basis. You can kind of think of biotic factors as the ultimate web of life, where every single organism has a specific job to do and directly affects the others around it. Every living thing plays a part in this web. We're talking about predators, parasites, plants, bacteria, fungi, and of course, competition for food. It could be a hungry predator hunting for its next meal, or tiny bacteria and fungi doing their invisible jobs, like cleaning up the forest floor. It also totally includes the intense competition for food and resources that happens out in the wild every single day. Imagine a wolf hunting a deer. That right there is a very direct biotic interaction. The predator directly affects the population of the prey. Or look at mushrooms. Fungi work incredibly hard to break down dead plants and animals, magically turning them back into nutrient-rich soil so brand new plants can grow. And sometimes abiotic factors are extremely helpful. It's like teamwork. Bees, for example, carry pollen from flower to flower, which helps the plants reproduce and make seeds. But other times, it's a really tough competition for survival. In a dense forest, trees will actually compete against each other, trying to grow taller and taller just to steal a share of the sunlight from their neighbors. It's wild.
Which brings us to Section 4, Anthropogenic Factors, the human touch.
That brings us to our third and final natural factor, and it's one that involves all of us directly. It's a big word, but an important one: anthropogenic. The word part anthropo literally means human. Anthropogenic factors are the influence of humans on nature. We humans have a massive footprint on the earth, and our actions change the environment in both good and bad ways. Because there are just so many of us, our daily choices ripple out and affect all those abiotic and biotic factors we just talked about.
Unfortunately, a lot of human influence is harmful. Things like deforestation, air pollution, building massive sprawling cities, and using way too much plastic. Cutting down entire forests causes animals to lose their natural habitats. And when factories release smoke, it causes air pollution that really affects the health of humans, plants, and animals alike.
But hey, here's the good news. Humans also do absolutely incredible things to help nature. While some factories puff out smoke, people have also created the most amazing national parks and nature reserves. And these are specifically designed to protect rare animals and plants from disappearing forever. We absolutely have the power to be a positive anthropogenic factor.
Now that we know how delicate these abiotic, biotic, and anthropogenic systems are, we really have to ask ourselves this vital question. So, why is it important to protect nature? Why should we make the effort?
And that leads right into Section 5, why protect our nature, taking care of our home.
The simple answer to our question is that the environment is a home for all living things on Earth. That includes us, and it's our job to take care of it, because if we don't, the consequences are pretty severe. The facts are clear. If we pollute our nature, animals and plants will disappear. Our water and air will become polluted and totally unsafe. The Earth's climate changes in dangerous ways, and ultimately, our own health gets worse. We simply cannot survive on a sick planet.
Because of that, it is incredibly important that we act now. And the best part, you don't have to be an adult to start. We can save water, recycle waste, plant trees, protect animals, and just try to keep nature clean. You can help out right away by recycling your trash, joining groups that plant trees, or simply remembering to turn off the tap when you brush your teeth to save water. Little things add up. We have to keep our nature clean and protect the animals that share it with us. All living organisms are connected with each other and depend on nature. So the absolute biggest point to take away from this explainer is that you are connected to everything we just talked about. Every single action counts, whether it's throwing a plastic bottle in the recycling bin or just turning off an extra light in your room. Remember, you are an anthropogenic factor. So the final question is, how are you going to use your power to help protect our beautiful planet today?